ask for approval of the meeting minutes from Supervisor Simpson, seconded by Supervisor Frazier. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're gonna turn it right over to Brian.
Thank you, Supervisor Wood. Under the action items, the first item is a request for resolution to extend our hazard mitigation program. We're just asking for an extension to the state.
All right, do we have a motion? Supervisor Frazier, second. Anybody? Anybody? Supervisor Simpson, thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries.
Number two is a resolution to extend our existing contract with the City of Glens Falls Fire Department. They provide our cause and origin investigation services, and we renew that annually.
Motion by Supervisor Montesi, second by Supervisor Bramer. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries.
Lastly, I'd like to give you a quick update on our EMS discussions that we've been having. As a result of direction from this committee that our EMS coordinators dig into the EMS scenario in this county, several things have happened. You saw in the board meeting last Friday that you approved the application for a CON, a Certificate of Need, for the county. We won't rush into that, but we will get it done so that we have that in hand should we need it. The second thing I wanted to bring up is our coordinators have taken this head on. They have already met with 6 out of the squads personally, met with their administrations. They also sent out a survey through the SurveyMonkey system to all of the responders, the EMS responders in the county. And so far they've gotten over 100 responses in less than 2 weeks. So out of the 200 and some responders we think are out there, we thought that was an excellent response. So we're very pleased with the response that we're getting, and the fact that the EMS folks are cooperating and they're doing their best to give us the information that we need. They have also met with several other counties, Columbia County and Albany County, discussing with them how their system works. So we are moving ahead on that, and I just want to let you know that that's going well.
Brian, what kind of questions are you asking and getting these responses on?
I can't give you the exact results. I can tell you I took the survey just to see what was involved. And it's mainly discussing with the responders themselves. It's not their administration, it's the responders.
Okay.
How many hours a week do you work? Are you paid? Are you volunteer? Do you do any paid work? How many hours do you spend a week or a month in the station standing by? Would you like to be a paramedic? Would you like to make this a career? And those are the kinds of things that we think are going to drive where we go with this in the future. As you know, we've brought to you the discussion that there physically isn't enough responders in the area, especially paramedics. And if we don't know how many are interested in making this a career or becoming a full-time paramedic, then we don't know whether we need to drive additional education here or allow the few people that want to do it to go to Hudson Valley, or there's a new program that's starting up in Elizabethtown. So that was the information we were looking for. It was more aimed at the boots on the ground people, not so much their administration. The meetings that we're having with each squad individually, with their president and captains, that's where we're digging into the rest of it. Is it an equipment issue? What is the problem? What is your main issues?
The question about, I know it's in Hudson Valley, but is that a course that if we offered it at SUNY, if we could, it would make it better, easier for us to get?
You will find that a large number of the people that would like to take this training don't, because they don't want to drive to Hudson Valley 3 nights a week. You work all day, you jump in your car, drive down there for a class that starts at 6, you get out of there at 9:30, 10 o'clock, come home and start all over again.
Well, maybe we could at least bring it up. I know each county or each community college has a little.
The problem that we have had, I'll be very honest with you, is being able to get enough people to commit. In other words, in order to put the dollars in to using the college, which we would love to do, the problem is if we can't be assured that we're going to get a relatively decent number of people that want to take the class, then we can't commit to the instructor time and the use of the facility.
Well, that may evolve from what we're doing.
That's where we're headed, Ron, and that's exactly what we're trying to accomplish. If we can you know, it's which comes first, the chicken or the egg. If we offer the course, more people will sign up. If more people sign up, we'll offer the course. So, we're hoping that as a result of this survey, that we're gonna get really good information that says, okay, let's take this the next step and see what we can do.
I have one more
Sure.
question. On the extension to the Glens Falls Fire Department, every fire is investigated, or what triggers the investigation?
What happens is the state of New York requires that any fire have a cause. In other words, it's up to the local fire department to decide what caused this fire. When you fill out the report that you have to send to the state, you have to indicate what was the cause. Now, I'm not saying you can't put down undefined or not found, but you're supposed to come up with a cause. What the fire chiefs do is they'll look at it, if they've interviewed the homeowner or the owner of the car or whatever, and he says, oh yeah, I put oil in it and I forgot to put the cap on, it caught fire. Okay, that's fine. If they have a situation where they do not know, they don't have the means to find out, some fire departments have their own investigators, at that point they contact the coordinator that's on the scene, and he requests the city of Glens Falls.
That's like the dog turning on the gas stove.
Yeah, we haven't had one of those yet, but,
Supervisor Simpson?
Thank you. Along those lines, I didn't see a dollar amount. Do we not pay them?
we pay them their backfill. In other words, when we call for an investigative team, 2 guys, whatever it costs them to fill those slots when those guys leave the station, whatever it costs for those 2 people, that's what we pay. I can tell you we average, for a basic investigation, we average around $600 per call, which is why we try to filter how many calls we go to. You know, I don't want a fire chief calling me to do an investigation that costs us $600 on a $300 car that burned in the woods. So, you know, those are the kinds of things we have to, we weigh back and forth, and that's why we insist that a coordinator make the call. The fire chief can't call directly for it, it has to come through one of us.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Are you able to determine the cause yourself if it's right there, obvious? Say, you know, a guy's car starts on fire in his yard, catches the house on fire, but you have to still call the origin.
No, don't have to. Again, that's up to the local fire chief. The fire chief has ultimate, you know, if he wants to take the responsibility. We have some fire chiefs that have actually gone through and are fire investigators themselves. They have taken
Okay.
the training. And if they want to accept that liability, that's fine. As I tell them, one thing that's important with using the professionals to do this, if it goes to court and things like that, now it gets into a more involved project. If you have someone that has the you know, when you get trained to be an investigator, you get trained to how to deal in court and to make depositions and those kinds of things.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
I'm all set, thank you.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Yep. Thank you, you too. We'll move on to probation.
Morning. Oh, I have 4 resolutions. 3 of them are to extend contracts that we currently have into next year, and I'll go through them quickly. The money is in the budget for these particular items, but the first one is a resolution request to extend a contract with Warren Hamilton counties to operate our alternative sentencing program for $60,000 a year. That's the program that does community service for our local courts.
Okay, motion by Supervisor Gerard, seconded by Supervisor Simpson. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries.
Second request is to extend an MOU with the Department of Social Services in the amount of $60,000. This is for preventive funding that comes through the Department of Social Services to our department for 1 juvenile probation officer. We've been doing this, probably for about 10 years. As most people know, the reimbursement to probation is pretty low, and DSS is a lot higher. So what we've done is use their preventive services funds for 1 probation officer to fund that, which obviously brings increased revenue into our department.
Motion by Supervisor Montesi, seconded by Supervisor Frazier. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries.
The next resolution request is to extend a contract with KMG Monitoring for electronic monitoring services for adult offenders in the amount of $7,500. These are select individuals who basically are on felony have felony charges pending, they're released by our county judge. Sometimes to release individuals, he wants a little more security. So we use electronic monitoring in this fashion. We've also used it on a couple occasions to take some individuals who were in jail that were costing a lot of medical services, to put them on a lot of electronic monitoring. The contract's for $7,500. We only pay as we go along. This year we've had, to date, we have a couple more that recently got on last week. We've had 129 bed days and 5 individuals. If you do the math quickly, and I use a low figure of $80 per day, that's over $10,000 for, we paid about $2,500. So it's a pretty big bang for your service. There was one individual that had significant medical issues in the jail. He was on it for 24 days. Not only did it take him out of jail, but it cut down on the medical cost to the county as well as overtime for corrections. So it's something that I always hope we use more, and it's something there that I think provides a service for the courts to release individuals, if not for money bail, and potentially for those type of situations as I described.
Do we have a motion by Supervisor Gerard, seconded by Supervisor Bramer? Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries.
And the last request I have is an authorization for myself to attend the American Probation and Parole Conference in Reno, Nevada, from January 7th to January 11th. All costs are paid by my association, the New York State Council of Probation Administrators. No cost to the county.
Motion by Supervisor Montesi, second by Supervisor Gerard. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that carries.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
Very much. Same to you.
Move on to Public Defender next.
I'm not sure I want to go, but sure.
Thank you very much. First one, the county was doing a 2% increase for all employees. I have a confidential secretary who is funded fully by grant, so the request is to increase her salary by 2%, fully funded by the Office of Indigent Legal Services. They have already approved this, but I need permission from you all.
Do we have a motion? Supervisor Bramer, seconded by Supervisor McDonald. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
The second one is, last time I was here, I asked for permission to potentially move number 5, my attorney number 5, into number 3 slot. At this point, I would like to do that, and therefore, I would like to move my 6th person into the 5 slot, move them up 1, and then fill the 6th slot with a new person.
Motion by Supervisor Gerard, second by Supervisor Bramer. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries.
Thank you. And the last thing is, I need funds moved, all paid by Indigent Legal Services, so I can buy a computer for the new person.
We have a motion. Supervisor McDonald, second by Supervisor Montesi. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries.
Thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you.
None of that. Thanks. Where's the other? Where's your fiance? Or where is
Not,
he? Huh?
not a fiance. She lives in Manhattan, but,
You don't have a fiance?
no,
I thought you said you did.
girlfriend, yeah.
I thought you just said my fiance.
That's why I'm like, whoa.
You almost fell off.
I feel like you probably would have said that before anything.
Like, wow, that's good news over the weekend. Gosh, so how did I not hear it?
Okay, Sean, take us away.
Morning.
Morning.
Relatively short agenda this morning. Item A is request a resolution for a new contract with Oneida County and the Oneida County Sheriff's Office for the security services they provide at the Central New York Psychiatric Center.
Okay, do we have a motion? Supervisor Gerard, do we have a second? Supervisor Simpson, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries.
Item B is notice of intent to fill a vacant patrol officer, number 12, position due to retirement. That officer came off the payroll back about October 23rd.
I'll move B and C. Is moving, all right, Supervisor Bramer is moving B and C. Do we have a second? Supervisor McDonald? Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries. On down to D.
Item D is notice of intent to fill a computer programming position due to a termination.
I have a motion by Supervisor Gerard, second by Supervisor Frazier. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries.
Item E is notice of intent to fill an investigator position due to a pending retirement.
Motion by Supervisor Montesi. Do we have a second? Supervisor Simpson. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries.
Item F is notice of intent to fill a patrol officer position due to a promotion. Whoever moves up into the investigator slot, it's a backfill.
Motion by Supervisor Seaver. Get it on the floor, and let me get a second, and then we'll come right back to you. Supervisor Frazier. Okay, Supervisor Seaver.
I just wanted to move F and G.
Oh, you want to move F and G? Is that all right with you, Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to move F and G together. We have a motion and a second. All those in, or first, any discussion on these two? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, any opposed? That carries, and we'll move down to H.
Item H is request permission for Larry Jeffords, Ryan Engel, Lisa Mansfield, Vicky Waters to attend a 911 power phone supervision course. Total cost for the training is $916, and it's within our training budget.
All right, Supervisor McDonald moves it, second by Supervisor Gerard. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries. Okay, topics for discussion?
Under topics for discussion, item A is we filled 3 correction officer positions due to 2 resignations, 1 retirement. We currently have 2 correction officer positions vacant and 1 correction sergeant vacant due to resignations.
All right. Anything else for us this morning, Sean?
Just to let you know, there'll be more, there's a couple more that are going to state docs just today, I signed, so we'll be replacing 2 others. Busy down there, replacing 2.
Chairman?
Yeah. Bud, do we currently have a list
We do.
active?
We do, we're going through the list now, yeah, it's dwindling fast, but,
You guys are working with civil service to get another test, or?
yeah, and, you know, a couple of these people that have left have gotten some legitimate jobs with the state, which we expect.
Right.
Some of them get in there and they're there 3 months and they realize, ooh, this is not for me, so it's a tough learning curve.
Supervisor Bramer, did you have your hand up?
Oh, I just wanted to quiz the sheriff on whether he thought there was any concerns, or if it's just the normal turnover stuff. But it sounds like...
Yeah, it's normal turnover stuff, a few more because a lot of them are getting picked up by state docs now, I'm assuming they're having a lot of requirements, so.
Anything else for the sheriff's office this morning? All right, with that in mind, then, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn. Supervisor McDonald, second by Supervisor Gerard. All those in favor? Thank you.
Very normal. Like,
So-
with that list, so fast. I'm gonna take a test. Like, a few years ago, I took the test, and it's just, I think Mark was there. And I interviewed for half the job.
Yeah.
Turned it down.